Hey, what is up, everyone? Welcome back to the Satisfactory. I wasn't sure I was going to continue this series, but since the last episode on here, I streamed it twice, and man, did I have some serious fun. There's a lot left to do. There's so much exploration, you can't even believe it. So I've been placing these radio towers, or I put, this was the initial one, kind of made this circle. Then I put one somewhere over, oh, right here, and it made this circle. Then I bumped it out this way. This one should be done by now. Yeah. Oh, no power. Whoops. I was running it off of leaves or something. But it's huge. This area is absolutely huge. So what we're going to do is I'm going to build a new sky factory. What do I mean? Well, I've come to the point where I realize that my factory you see how kind of short it is? It should have been really long, and then the width would grow as I need it. But it needed to be like, I don't know, 5 times longer than that. It needed to go like from back here all the way out that way, right? So instead of like tearing that apart, because it's making a lot of essential parts down there, like it's making a ton of stuff, but I'm at next level end game type stuff. I'm getting up there. And what I need to do is kind of reorganize, but I'm going to do it in a different way. I'm going to build a new factory, calling it the Sky Factory, and you'll see why. So if you look, there's my original factory. I angled up across, and I built this long thing. It goes way back over there. And there's a good reason. I started it back over there and just kind of worked my way to here. We're going to go over there in a second, but first I wanted to show you what I did during the streaming. So this, I showed you guys, this is my aluminum factory here. Two identical sets, making the aluminum and then making the casings and the aluminum sheet. So that's all good to go. This section here, I don't want to get too close. It's radiation. So this section here, this is the first nuke plant. And I don't know if it's going to be the only nuke plant. Probably not. I don't know. I think I'm going to need a lot more power. But this is the nuke plant. I've got where I brought the water up to this thing. I went back down there. I'll show you on the way out to the Sky Factory. So this is the water I just tapped in there. I'm running all Mark II piping, and it's got plenty of water flow. So that goes into the reactor. Then where this water originates down there at the lake, there is, I grabbed the sulfur, I'm making sulfuric acid, and that's the yellow line right there. The sulfuric acid is going into the blender, as well as the uranium, which is coming, there's the belt over there, it's coming from out that way, where you see it say, so we're here, here's where the uranium's coming from. It's belting all the way over to here, and that's it there. It's coming in, as well as we've got concrete coming in. And that is making the uranium cased thingies. What is it called? I'll show you. Whoop. It's making encased uranium cells. All right. Then coming out of there, we're feeding into a manufacturer that is got encased uranium cells. It's got electromagnetic control rods, and it's also got the encased. It's got the encased industrial beam. So these 3 things are going into a manufacturer producing uranium fuel rods, which is what powers that. And I will show you that right now. I don't actually have the wire going to it. What I'm trying to do is build up some rods here. So that's the manufacturer right there. Right there. And it's coming out and feeding it. And then this is going to be the waste. So I put on my suit. I think I only made, well, I made 12 waste. This stuff is super radioactive over here. I've only got 41 of those, probably because I ran out of industrial beams. No, it is still trying to make them. Interesting. It's just really slow. It's 1 minute per rod, and I've got it triple clocked running 238. That is, like, the original with no clocking is 55. This is really slow, but what I'm trying to do is build up some in here to kick that on and not worry about it. But this thing You know what? This thing might not be working because I have the... Is this sulfuric? I gotta double check. This might not be on. Yep, see, the sulfuric acid is full. So what I'm gonna do... I filled up this. I'm gonna just dump this right now. See if this thing kicks back on. I might blow a fuse, man. I don't know. So now it's working. It's gonna dump this out into that till it fills up again. So I made, I don't know, I had this thing about almost three rows full before that overfilled, so that's not too bad. And if I make another nuke plant, I can actually pipe this in to it and basically reuse it. So, all right, that's the nuke plant. Let's get to the Sky Factory. I gotta get out of here, man. The radiation is nasty up here. But this thing, if you look at my... So, 35, right? When I kick on the nuke plant, this goes up over 6,000. It almost doubles it where I'm at. And I've got a lot of things kind of ticking away right now as far as a number of coal plants. I've only ended up doing 4 of the gasoline-powered generations. And it's kind of because the way I was making plastic and rubber and resin and all that, I didn't make much fuel. I didn't end up making much fuel. Now, obviously, I could change that, you know, but that's all down there. Let's see, I have 3, 8, 11, like 16 coal plants down there. All right, Sky Factory. Whoop. Yeah, you can look and see all the coal plants, and then, yeah, I'm running 4 gas generators right there, which they're pretty good. But you know what I found out? If you triple clock a coal plant, it's about equal to a gas plant non-clocked, right? And unless you're producing a butt ton of fuel, it's not gonna be the best thing. I don't know. The coal is just easy. Like 1 or 2 coal nodes is feeding all of that stuff. I have some petroleum coke that's coming out of the refinery as a byproduct, and I'm using that. But that's only powering 3 out of like the 16 or 18 that I have there. All right, now the reason for this, and I know there's probably plenty of other areas, right? But what I found over here was pretty decent. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to go over here. And I followed these 2 belts. That's one is a coal belt. And the other is my quartz belt, right? So I run those belts, came all the way out here, got up to the place that I wanted to be, which is where the end of this platform is. And then I built this platform coming this way in reverse. And then kind of angled it a couple times to where it would basically meet up with the top of my factory. Now, here's the idea. It's going to kind of start like I started the original factory. But this time, knowing what I know now, right? I made too many machines that made plates. You don't need that many plates. You need a lot more rods than plates, okay? So I'm going to do this to where I make what I need for each thing. Screws, for example. Like I need 3 machines making screws for other machines right away, you know? So lengthwise, you know, like I did before, I'm going to start with the ingot smelter, come out of there and split it. We're going to go rods, like 4 rods. 3 of those rods are going to go into screws. 1 rod is going to go to make like rotors, and I'm going to go in a long line. That way, I thought I was being, you know, smart about it with the storage in there, but I wasn't, man. Trying to get from that storage in that building to my next machines, it's going all over the place. All right, so this is kind of what brought me to this area initially, right? There's a coal node right there. So that coal is crossing over. Then I came back later when I could scan for it, and I found a pure quartz node here. So now I got the quartz node, and it followed the other belt. Well, while I was here, there's another quartz node down over there. Now, this, I was poking around in this area here, and just right here, not even scanning for what else I might need, you can see over there, it looks like I'll be able to grab limestone for concrete to make encased beams, right? This is the kicker. This is what's going to be. So I've got 1 iron node pure, 2 iron node pure, 3 iron node pure, and 4 iron node pure. Pure meaning I can pull these out with a super clock level 2 or 3 miner, split them up, make everything I want. And right here, copper node pure, right? So a pure copper node. So I can make wire, cable, and sheets, and then convert those into computer boards and your circuit boards into computers or AI limiters or the high-speed connectors. And that's just what you can see. So 4 iron, 1 concrete, 1 copper, and depending on what I need, I can scan this area. You can see where I'm at. I'm way up here now, and my factory's over here. So this thing basically runs like this, then it turns like this, then it turns like this. So that's just this area. Just this area. I'm going to grab all this stuff. So that is going to be pretty cool. And I tried to start this thing off. See, where I turned it out there is where it really needs to turn. I figured, I can run it straight to there, then turn it, then angle that way. I don't need to do... All right, let's get some of this done. Probably pull this back to here. And then we'll zoop this out there. I don't know how wide I'm going to need it. The beauty of the way I'm going to build this one is I can expand the width out to my right as I'm running this way. This first one is basically the farthest left that I want to go, unless I need to pop out for maybe one more assembler or constructor or something. I can pop it out a couple along there. Do. You know, when I first started doing this, I didn't really think about... I just tried to find a flat area and kind of build to that area. So, yeah. Go across that. It'll be a little bit weird at these corners because I overlap them, but it worked out okay. See how I over... Oh, shoot. That's not good. That is... I'm gonna fall through that, man. Let's see if I can... I don't think I can pop one on there. Maybe like that, and just then watch this corner. So I can probably put one there. See, then I don't have a thing right here that I'm going to fall through. All right, I'll just have to watch that corner. But right there, I would have probably definitely fallen through that, and it would be death. It'd be death. It would be death, because that's... you would actually fall that far down there. There's one of my 3 geothermal generators. I had found that geyser out here. Now, in the last stream, which was just earlier today as I'm playing this, I made my way out to here and put a radio tower. And this lake here, man, it is so cool looking. And it continues to go out this way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep pushing radio towers out. One of the new things I have to make to get some of this stuff done is I need to be able to find nitrogen gas. And there's one, I believe, out that way. It'll probably be the closest to me. I think it's around the outside. That's all water out there. It's out that way, I believe. Maybe right about there. Should ping in a second. Come on. You can ping it. There it is. It's over there. So there it is right there. So there's one there. There's one here. One there. That's actually close to this stuff. Well, close, but This one, maybe I can get it here. Maybe I'll just bring it back. I don't know. I might try and cut it across and get to this platform somehow. But I do, as far as my milestone that's in the top right corner, those fancy looking frames there. It's another frame. What's it called? This guy, the Fuse modular frame. Look, it takes heavy frames, which I'm currently crafting, but I need to craft them faster. Aluminum casings, I'm making those things. I got a ton of them already. And then nitrogen gas. So it's like you're purging it with nitrogen gas. That's what nitrogen is. It's a purge element. So this is the beginning of the Sky Factory. And it's going to work its way along here, not just running belts. I'm putting machines all through here and going, you know? And I've got my powers run here already. I can pop this up here. So not an issue there until I actually run out of power. So I think what I'll do is I'm not going to go nutso right now just making this thing super wide yet. I'm going to widen it as I need it. What we have here is 2 nodes. So after I make this stuff, I'm going to actually be able to unlock a Miner Mark III. But right now, I've only got the ability to get Miner Mark IIs. Iron, right? 2 more irons in that copper. It's pretty good. I don't know. I don't even know if I'll need all the irons, to be honest with you. But I'm going to try and kind of treat this, like I said, as I did in the beginning. With the beginning ones. All right. So the first thing, right, out of there, we need to smelt. So we'll just go... See, I don't know... This is one thing I haven't really thought of the layout. I almost wanted to do a flow chart, you know, but in reverse. So if I start with this stuff up here, say I wanted to make something up here, and that would be the end result down there. I wanted to start here, being able to branch off and make all the stuff, and then bring stuff in from the side that's not an element of this area. And you could do that. You could make a really cool chart, I bet. I'm just surprised no one has. See, I'm thinking at a minimum, you're going to want to put like this, give yourself a little bit of room on that side with the smelter. So smelter, can that center? That's pretty much centered right there. So with a smelter, when we get this thing fully clocked, how fast, I'll check and see how fast I can pull it out because I want it to be able to feed multiple constructors, right? Because I want to make a minimum 4 rods, right? 4 rods, 3 of them for screws, 1 of them for rotors. And what I'm doing with that is kind of coming out and then going to be eventually, this is a good way to look at it is like this. And I just saw this. So if you start at the top here, this kind of goes in order as it unlocks stuff, right? So with the smelters, I'm going to make iron ingots, right? I'm going to make maybe 1 or 2 plates. 1 plate is going to be for the reinforced plates, and then maybe I'll make 1 other one. I don't know yet. Then I'm going to make at least 3 or 4 rods, and then 3 of those rods will make screws, and then 1 of the screws and 1 of the plates will start making reinforced iron plates. Then bring the copper over. I'm going to make wire. I'm going to make cable. I'm going to make sheet. And then from there, I can branch this off and make like the AI limiters and circuit boards, which I'm already making. I'm making AI limiters and circuit boards and a little bit of the high-speed connectors. Then also the rods. Would be the 4th rod, and 1 of the screws that I'm making will make rotors. This is a big one. I'm making modular frames down there slowly. I mean, it's clocked as fast as it can. The feed, it's always full. It just takes a long time. So I need to make more of these. So I'm going to take those plates I'm making, another set of rods, and these. Or my alternate recipe is more screws. At this point, I don't know. I don't know which is... I think I'm be able to make rods, because in order to make screws, you have to make rods first, then screws, then go into here. So I might as well stick with this one. But this says 5 per minute, and this is 2 per minute. So sometimes the recipe, it seems, might be strange, might be even a little bit more complicated, but really the main thing you want to look at, or the main thing that I've been looking at lately, is the production rate. 2 per minute, which is what I'm doing now. This is 5 per minute, so maybe I should do this and just say, you know what, screw it, even though I have to make rods, we'll do it this way, and we'll get 5 per minute and overclock this guy. So that's my goal. Like, up to that point, that's all I've really looked at. Because once I get to here, I'm no longer looking at this stuff. See, now I've got, with smart plating, I was making smart plating down there. The next step, it's now no longer rods, no longer screws, no longer plates, reinforced iron plates and rotors, right? And I'm already making this stuff. Then a foundry. I've got coal here, and I've got this. I can make a foundry, make steel beams and steel pipes. From there, I'll bring in... See, I got an alternate recipe here, too, with rubber. Rubber's all the way back at the factory, though. But you see what I'm saying? It's like, now that I have everything open, it's like a lot of games. Like, you get a better... You start making stuff, and you don't know where your end goal is, necessarily. You get to a certain point where, like, oh my god, my factory's a mess. I want to redo this. Well, I think this is better doing it this way than redoing it, right? One thing what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to get smelter. This is the tough part, because in my factory over there, I think I do a smelter and I leave one thing on either side. That way I can do 1, 2, 3 things off this one smelter. Because the smelter doesn't seem to be the thing that's holding me up, right? The smelter doesn't seem to be holding me up. See, I'm already thinking about it. Doesn't matter. Let's just start with 1. Let's start with 1. All right. I'm just going to do like this. This. I have my belts all set up for Mark V belts. I probably didn't bring enough aluminum for belts right now, but that's okay. We're going to get this thing started. Oh, did it go? It went right past that thingy. There. I just put these things down to kind of try and keep the shapes of stuff. All right, so a lot of times I like to do what I call buffers, right? So when I come out of here, I'll put down, and for these, it just needs to be the small ones. It doesn't need to be the double ones. We get ourselves a little buffer like this, right? And what can happen is right now, I'm going to bring the power up. See if we can set that right there. I don't know how far that stuff is. Probably should put on in case I fall off. Oh boy, here we go. Oh shoot. Okay. That's really ugly. I don't like that, but probably should have put a post like that. Let's get rid of this guy. Let's do this. Okay, there we go. All right. So what I'll do is I'm going to take this guy from there to there. And then from there to there. All right, perfect. Okay, there we go with that. Take this guy to there and that guy to there. All right, that's a start. Now we're starting. But you get the idea, right? I think this is the way I should have done it on the ground. Not started on the ground. Get up enough to where I could go a long way without running into a mountain down where I was. I could have went like across the lake, because on the other side there's this huge area. Anyway, let's take a look and see what we're doing here. So we're making iron ingots, right? Here we're making iron ingots. And this stuff you can see is boogieing right now. It's filling this guy up. I think, what are these, 100? Okay, so 100. if we triple clock this bad boy. And I don't even know if we need to, but look at that. That's 0.8 seconds. So 75 ingots per minute. And what I'd like to do, and where these buffers actually come in handy, is while I'm building stuff, I'll get this going to here. And then when I'm ready to pull off of this will be full. And same with the other ones. I'll build the first row. Because as I'm doing all this, my factory is actually doing stuff too. So that's my first bet. And I don't want to overthink it, but I also don't want to screw this up, right? I want to make sure, I'm pretty sure, I want to get in ingots to rods to screws and get out of those. I want to get out of these early things quick. The problem is I've got so many iron plates and so many iron rods that aren't doing anything at the other factory, and I really don't have a place to do what I'm doing now. I don't want to go and make another. I have screws all over the place and they're barely keeping up. So I want to get working down this and get out of it. Like, if you need iron plates or iron rods, go back to the other factory, because you're not going to have this spitting out the end. They're going to end up with this and finally to here, and then you're not going to see anything to do with rods or plates anymore. We're going to go to smart plating and then down and down and down and down. My stators, I got stators building down there. I've got motors, but not on full auto. I've got to actually fill these manually. Automated wiring I do have going on its own. And then this one is a big one for me. The heavy modular frame. It's just, I'm making modular frames so dang slow down there, so dang slow. So this is the start. This is what we're looking at. And I apologize a little bit to you guys, because I was playing this a lot, and this stuff that I'm showing you now, I was playing off screen. I'd come back and basically do a recap, and building this stuff is the fun stuff. So that's what I'm going to do from this point forward. If you're going to stick with me, you're going to be showing you this, not just like, hey, look what I did for the past 10 hours. All right. So I'm going to try and think up what I want to do, get a basic layout. I think I'm going to start with these two and figure out what I want to do with the rods, right? We'll just do rods right now. And then when I'm done with that layout, then we'll grab the third one, either that one there or the one over there. There's 4 here, and they're all pure nodes. Then we'll come over and we'll start making plating. I think it's just going to split into 2. I think one's going to go to reinforced plates, and the other one, I'm not really sure, but I need to double check. All right, you guys, let me know what you think. Let me know if you're excited to see more of this Sky Factory build. And I'll tell you what's going to happen. As soon as I'm building all these things, as soon as I get to where... See, look at that. That's pretty close. I just saw that hit 26 on the consumption, all right? So as soon as this maybe either blows a fuse or I'm right there, I am going to go kick on the nuke plant, and then we'll keep building. So I'm not going to be too concerned with the other factory. We're going to build this all the way out. And when we get to a certain point, this is what's bouncing around in my brain up here. When we get to a certain point, wherever, down here somewhere, I may have to bring stuff up in. I may be like, oh, I'm here. Now I need to bring in nitrogen gas. Well, depending on where I'm at, I might pull it in from over there and bring it up and do it all, trying to do as much as I can. Kind of an in-game type thing, but see if I can start from scratch right here and go through this and get to the in-game stuff. All right, you guys, that's going to do it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed this one a little bit better than the old ones. Thanks for watching.